Hi everybody, and welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and another kit review for my friend Keith Short. So if you remember last time I did one of these, it was on the 1/48 scale Tamiya elephant kit. So today, in the pile of kits he's given me to review for him, I'm going to do the Tamiya 1/48 scale Sturmtiger. Okay, this is Tamiya's 1/48 scale Sturmtiger, kit number 32591, and I believe it came out in 2017. This is the box with the usual stuff on it. Shows 3-color camouflage scheme there, another replication of the top, also saying that it's got one crew figure, and then some awesome looking, tells you what colors to use, as well as some awesome information here that's in Japanese and I can't read it. So with the box top out of the way, let's take a look at the contents. So first up, in typical Tamiya fashion these days, we have a Tamiya Tech Tips, which shows what tools they recommend: bottle paints, spray paints, abrasive paper, decal scissors, side cutters, just various and sundry stuff, paint brushes. Gives some tips on cutting off parts, handle tools with care, shows you cutting them off, scraping them smooth with a knife, whatever, removing excess plastic, just tech tips. And it's kind of cool, especially if it was a person's first kit. This, I think, would be pretty helpful in helping learn how to do a kit. So that is the Tamiya Tech Tip sheet that comes with it. Then we've got this background information sheet, which comes with their kits these days, and these are kind of cool. It's in four languages. It just gives some basic information on the kit included in the box, in this case the Sturmtiger. And then on the back it gives Germany 1945 and the color scheme, the marking and painting options here. And then we have the instructions. The instructions that come with these kits, it seems, are all the fold out type. The usual thing: cutting off parts, test fitting, keeping track of parts. Shows which kit parts are not used. So if you get to the end of your kit and then you say, "Oh man, there's still some parts on the old sprues here," well, you can check here and see if you missed them. Shows attention detail up parts not included. So a detail set for this would be the Zimmerit coating that comes on a sheet. 1/48 Zimmerit coating sheet for 1/48 scale Sturmtiger item 12672, and then it also is available for the 1/35 scale kit 35187. I'm sorry, that's the applicator, 1/35 scale Zimmerit coating applicator, if you used putty to do it. It says here. So anyway, then we got the instructions. I'm not going to go through the instructions, but just to suffice to say, it's pretty typical for a Tamiya kit, in that it starts with the lower hull, the running gear and tracks, and then moves on to the hull parts, superstructure, fighting compartment front panel with the gun, and then the rest of the upper hull, then installing the upper hull, and then beginning with all the small parts that go around the outside: exhaust, tools, engine deck parts, fenders, tools, jacks. And then we get here to the end. It's got a crane that was used for loading the ammunition for this whopping gun here. Crew figure and how to paint him. And then looks like the last part's there. And then it shows how to apply the Zimrit. If you're using putty for the Zimrit, it shows you here where it goes, and to use tape to help keep it from getting somewhere you don't want. So it's pretty cool. Real quick note about the Sturmtiger. It's pretty. It was like it was an assault mortar is what it was, but it launched a huge rocket-propelled projectile out of it. I can't remember the size of it. I think it's like 250 millimeter, I think. It was a 1.5 meter missile. That was ginormous. Had a super thick armor plate, just a really devastating vehicle. But anyway, that is the instructions. All right, so first up is the lower hull. The lower hull is a mainly one piece affair. You do have to glue the back plate on. The suspension arms are molded on, which diminishes the detail a little bit, but the benefit is you get nice even wheels, meaning when it's sitting on the ground, these are all perfectly straight and in line with one another. So when you put the wheels on, you don't have to worry about one of these being out of alignment a little bit and having a floating wheel in your on the inside of your tracks, because that just doesn't look that great. Used to, on these 1/48 scale kits, Tamiya did the lower hull in a cast piece of aluminum or metal. They don't do that anymore, and the reason they did that was to give it a little bit of weight. Why, I don't know, but it is kind of nice, because otherwise it'd be like ultra light. I don't know. It's cool, but necessary, I don't know. But since they don't do that anymore, they include weights. 4 weights, a little bit smaller than a AAA battery, I would say. And there's ends that go on there that cement into these 4 positions here, so you end up with 4 metal bars in here. So it gives it that little bit of weight. But the detail on here is really nice. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but it's got nice like flame cut detail there from the back plate interlocking into the side plate. So that's kind of nice. And yeah, that's the lower hull. And it is dated, actually, it's dated 2013. So I'm thinking whatever kit this was based off of was 2013. And they made the extra parts for the Sturmtiger in 2017. But anyway, that's it. And it comes packed in this handy dandy little plastic bag here. All right, next bag contains 2 Sprue A's. Sprue A consists of track parts, which are link in length, which means you have a long strip for the bottom, and then a long strip for the top right here, and then the links comprise the bend here and wrap around the drive sprocket down to the bottom and around the idler. These parts here would be the flat portion there and the flat portion there. Just like this. So with that, you get the natural sag that the Tiger family of vehicles has. Then we have the steel road wheels drive sprockets, idlers, the front final drive covers, the armored exhaust covers, some toe shackles here. This is the exhaust here, the C towing hooks, C-shaped towing hooks, a few other small parts. I'm assuming this probably has something to do with the gun mount, but I don't know for sure. But exhaust cover there. Then this, I think it's a pin that you can hook something on that goes on the side of this armored cover here, I believe. And then a couple of latches for when the engine covers are opened up. So the detail looks really good on all this. Bolt detail's really nice in here. The track detail looks really good. Same with the drive sprocket, nice bolt detail. Distinctive bolts, not just round blobs that are supposed to be bolts. There are some ejector pin marks along the edges of the tracks and down. There's 2 rows of them, and then there is a row down the center and a row on the inside of the track, the part that faces the hull. So if a person didn't want to clean all of that up, they could just tackle these on the outside here, and probably could get away with just doing the outside ones here. But you know, that's up to the individual. But not too bad. And you know, there's often complaints about, oh, there's push pins, blah blah blah. Well, you know, there might be another way to do it, but you got to be able to push these things out somehow, and it's better to have it there where it's easy to clean up than it is on this side, I would think. Lots of ejector pin marks on the inside of the wheels, but again, those are going to be totally invisible, so you won't see those. Same with these ejector pin marks on each link. These ones on the outside would have to be cleaned up, unless you just don't care. But overall, the detail is really nice. The ends of the tracks have connector pins, so there's that little bit of detail. They put the sprue gate connects on the top of the tooth, and it's the same width as the tooth, so it's just a matter of cutting it off and maybe hitting it a little bit with a sanding stick. So that's nice. Some kits, they put them on the inside for some crazy reason, and those are a pain to clean up. Now, something else that people will notice, and is kind of a thing that people don't like about a lot of Tiger kits, is it has solid guide horns. And if I'm not mistaken, all Tiger family vehicles had, yeah, even the illustration here shows it, had lightning holes. I guess they were light to make each link a little bit lighter, but it should be a hole right down here. So, but again, you know, in a scale this small, the only alternative would be to have these would be separate pieces, and you'd have to glue all those in, or get aftermarket tracks, which is an option. Or if you want to be really crazy, you could drill out each hole and shape it properly, but not me, no thanks. So anyway, that is Sprue A. There's 2 of those, and in the same bag comes these pulley sleeves for something. Next is Sprue B, which is the upper hull with the engine deck, the front, the side superstructure parts, the back superstructure plate, the front superstructure top, and then the side skirt fender type things. mud guards front and back. And yeah, so let's take a look. Molding is good, and it looks like they've done the same as on that last kit I checked out. The interlocking parts where they meet up will duplicate the way it looks in real life. You won't have any seams that shouldn't be there, I don't think. Back plate looks good. The detail on these access, I think these are for adjusting track tension on the idler wheels. Those are molded really nicely. The detail on the fenders is nice. Got some nice hinge detail going on there. Same with the front. All looks really good. The rear engine deck looks nice. It's got some really nice cast texture on these parts here. The only thing I did not see in this kit, and I'm not sure if it's even available, is generally Tigers had screens covering these engine covers, or these, you know, these covers on the engine deck, but not sure about that. Front plate, the ball mount is molded in place. Generally on larger scale kits you attach them from the inside and it can swivel. Looks good. The side skirt, fender, whatever you want to call them, they look good. Nice detail for bolts there. There is a seam line there, there, and there. So if you wanted, if a person wanted, they'd have nice guidance there to be able to cut that off, like if they wanted to make some removed or damaged or whatever. And to simulate they're thick, but what they've done is they've tapered the edge to make it look more in scale on the edge where you actually see it. So that's kind of a nice touch. But it all looks good. All this big old giant bolt detail here. So yeah, looks pretty jolly. So that is Sprue B. In the bag for Sprue C, we've got another little packet of poly sleeves. They call them poly caps. I call them poly sleeves because cap is closed off on one end. Sorry. Semantics there, I guess. But anyway, we got, this is all the little fittings. The main gun, the front ring of the main gun with the holes, which were, it was like a gas release because the propellant or whatever was used, the rocket or whatever was used to launch the projectile, it would blow out the front here instead of blowing back into the fighting compartment. We got some tools, axe, sledgehammer, etc. Some small, I think these are extra spare track hooks for the hull, the jack block, more tools, the ball mount for the main gun, more gun parts I would assume, the exhaust covers. I'm thinking that's probably the bow machine gun, antenna mount, a light, which is a two-part light. So you've got the back here and then the front blackout light there. Tow hook mounting points, more access deals. Now here's something that if a person wanted to do some extra detailing to make it look a little more realistic. These grab handles here, they're just blocks. Cut those off, make some out of wire, install them that way. Here's the crane. Here's the adapter plate that's used for cranking the engine over by hand. more parts with some flame cut detail right there. So again, nice detail. Can't see any ejector pin marks on anything that you can see, so that's kind of cool. And then we got the little figure, the little dude here. For 1/48 scale, it looks pretty stinking good. Not much cleanup needed. Looks like they've tried to, yeah, not bad at all. So that'd probably be an easy figure to put together and, you know, not have to worry about too much in the way of seam lines. Good night. That's really good. There's usually a seam running along the neck and the ear, and there's nothing. Hopefully you can see that. That's a pretty nice figure in any scale, but especially for 1/48. Looks good. Not a bunch of small parts. You know, sometimes they'll do the holster as a spare part, so that's kind of nice. It's molded on there. Should be easy to paint. But yeah, that's a good looking figure. So that is Sprue C. Then we have Sprue H, which is the idler axles. These are those parts that fit down in the bottom of the hull to hold the metal bars in place to add the weight to the lower hull, and then the sponson plates, whatever you want to call them, so it closes off above the tracks underneath the edge of the hull. That's all the parts on that one. Sprue H. So here's something interesting. There are no decals for this kit because apparently it wasn't marked. So that's interesting. It's 3-color camo scheme: desert yellow, or desert yellow, dunkelgelb, the dark yellow, and then the green and the red-brown color they used. Alright, so the next thing, let's take a look at the Zimmerit set that Keith got to go with this kit. That's the card that would be on the top. High quality option parts to add a professional touch to your model. Zimmerit coating sheet for 1/48 scale Sturmtiger. 2 sets. Alright, so that explains it. We'll get to that in a second. Here's the instructions. Very simple. So it gives some pretty good tips here on what to do. So it says these stickers enable reproduction of Zimmerit on the German assault mortar Sturmtiger. Apply stickers before attaching accessory parts to the hull. Remove oil or dust from the model before applying stickers. Cut along the stickers' outlines. Cut them from the sheet. Also cut out the areas which fit over protruding parts. Firmly press stickers down onto the model's surface. Use extra stickers as you wish, and apply stickers onto B1, B3, B5, B7, B4 assembly. So it's saying before you attach the fenders, you put the Zimmerit in place. So yep, that's the instructions. Pretty easy. Take a little bit of planning. So you do have to cut these out, and that explains, it says 2 sets, so that explains why there's 2 of everything on here, which is cool. If you screw one up, you got an extra. For myself, I would probably look into getting a hole punch set or something to do these small round things. The square ones would be fairly easy to do, I would think, with an X-Acto knife with a nice new blade. Don't worry, Keith, I'm not going to poke a hole in it, because they're straight. And the really small ones, just a matter of punching through, shortcut, pop it out. The long stuff, straight edge, boom, like that. So I think it would be fairly easy to get it cut out, not too difficult. But yeah, those small round holes, I think I'd look into something for those. But it is kind of cool they give you 2 sets. That way if you do mess one up, you're good. And it has an extra strip of it right here, so that's kind of nice. Zimmerit coating sheet. So in feeling, it's hard to see the texture, so you'll just have to go off my description, but the texture is pretty good. It feels to be in scale. I don't know if you can see it with light reflecting off of it, but it looks to be pretty well in scale. And it would sure be a whole lot easier than trying to do it with putty, I can tell you. But it looks like a good set. I would use these. And the fact that it's a sticker is kind of cool because you don't have to worry about adhesive. Now, I would test it and see how well it sticks. And then if need be, you know, maybe on edges, because I don't know how paint would affect or enamel washes or something like that would affect the adhesive. So, you know, I would maybe look at that, and then if need be, use some super glue along the edges and just make sure it's pressed down really good. But yeah, it looks like a really nice set. Yeah, it's a good addition. A lot better than putty, I think. All right, so there you have it. A quick review of the Tamiya 1/48 scale German 38 centimeter. Well, there's the size of the gun right there. Assault mortar Sturmtiger. Looks like a really good kit. May have to look into getting one of these days. Very nice kit. So Keith, I hope that's what you were looking for as far as the review goes. Thanks for letting me review it, by the way. Gives me a chance to really look at it and see what kind of a kit it is. So it looks like a really good one. So as always, if you have any hints, tips, anything like that, put them in the comments section down below, especially if you've done this kit yourself. I'd like to hear, and I'm sure Keith would like to hear how it went. And yeah, so thanks for watching Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and until next time, I will see you all later.